On April 16, 2023, around 12 a.m., a man named Jacob was jolted awake by a strange noise coming from outside his room. Trembling with fear, he got out of bed to investigate, only to come face to face with something that left him deeply unsettled. It was Jeffrey, a creepy clown doll that once belonged to his grandmother. Jacob had always been uneasy around the doll, believing there was something off about it. Because of that, he kept Jeffrey locked away in a separate room, far from where he slept. But one night, something happened that would terrify him to his core. Just before midnight, Jacob was startled by a loud bang. Moments later, he heard a series of strange noises, all coming from the very room where he'd left the clown doll. What happened next was captured on his phone.
I just heard banging.
As Jacob cautiously approached the room, a loud thud echoed from downstairs. His breathing grew heavier as he peered nervously toward the staircase. Suddenly, he heard footsteps, slow, deliberate, coming up the stairs. But when he looked, no one was there. Then, something even more chilling occurred. Jacob turned back toward the doll's room and saw the door slowly creak open. Inside, Jeffrey was sitting exactly where he'd left him, except now, his head was turned, staring directly at the door. Moments earlier, the doll had been facing the wall. Panicked, Jacob stopped recording, ran into his bedroom, and locked himself inside for the rest of the night. By morning, he was convinced Jeffrey was haunted. Fearing it might happen again, or worse, he decided to move the doll into the basement.
Another update. I think I'm definitely going to be moving Jeffrey. With whatever happened last night, I don't want him near me. I'm gonna be putting him in the basement, so I'm gonna follow up. This is the results so far. I'm gonna leave him here for now, but I think I'm gonna put a camera here. Jeffrey's still here, so we're gonna see if there's anything I miss.
He even set up a security camera in front of it, programmed to notify him if there was any movement. A few nights later, Jacob's phone buzzed. The camera had detected motion. At first, he wasn't alarmed. He remembered that the heater next to the camera automatically turned on and oscillated side to side, which could cause minor movement in the frame. But as he continued watching the live feed, something happened that made his blood run cold. As the camera swayed from side to side, Jeffrey's arm slowly lifted on its own. Then, without warning, the light bulb exploded, plunging the basement into total darkness. Moments later, a faint whisper could be heard, soft, distorted, and impossible to understand. Nothing else happened after that, but the incident was enough for Jacob to make one final decision. Jeffrey would stay locked in the basement permanently. The doll remains under surveillance to this day, though no new updates have been posted by Jacob. For now, what truly happened that night remains a mystery. In the following video, we see a nanny watching over a little girl who's quietly playing with her toys. Just a few minutes earlier, the girl had told him something deeply unsettling, and that's exactly why he decided to start recording. He wanted to capture her words on camera.
What was it that you told me earlier about your doll?
When I have to take with my doll, it moves.
You said it moves?
Yeah.
That doll? This doll?
Yeah.
You said it moves?
Yeah.
Like you move it, or? What? When does it move?
When you play hide and seek with her.
When you play hide and seek?
Yeah.
Bro.
According to the child, her creepy-looking doll would start moving on its own, but only whenever she played hide-and-seek. She was just 5 years old, so it could have easily been her imagination. Yet the nanny couldn't help but wonder if there was any truth behind it. Driven by curiosity, he agreed to play hide-and-seek with the doll and began recording everything.
We're playing hide and seek. Oh my god! Sadie, you scared me. Don't do that, dude.
At one point during the game, something startled him so badly that he admitted later he'd have preferred being scared by a dog rather than a doll rumored to come alive. Fortunately, the doll didn't seem to move at that moment, and the rest of the evening appeared completely normal, at least at first. But what happened later was far more disturbing. After putting the little girl to bed, the nanny noticed something odd.
I noticed the dog has been staring at the doll. Looking at it. I'm kind of freaked out right now.
The family dog was standing perfectly still, staring directly at the doll. It didn't bark or move, just watched it from a distance, as if too afraid to get closer. Considering what the girl had said earlier, the sight sent chills down his spine. A few hours later, while the nanny was dozing off in another room, a faint noise echoed from the living room, the very place where the doll had last been seen. Startled, he grabbed his phone and began recording again. What he captured next was nothing short of terrifying.
Yo!
One of the toy devices in the room suddenly activated by itself, playing a cheerful melody. Next to it sat the same doll, lying motionless. At least, that's how it appeared at first. Then, slowly, the doll's head began to lift, as if trying to make eye contact with the camera, before abruptly collapsing to one side. Panicked, the nanny dropped the camera and ran out of the house. It seemed as though the doll really had come to life. There's been no follow-up since, but it's not hard to imagine the fear he must have felt that night, and the haunting thought that maybe the little girl had been telling the truth all along. On October 10th, 2023, a toy camera recorded a video of a little girl happily playing with her toys and chatting about her day. At first, it looks like a normal mini-vlog, She talks about how she spent her time and what she plans to do with her friends next week. But hidden within this seemingly innocent footage is something that would soon deeply disturb her entire family.
You're messing around with my little sister's camera. It's weird. It's weird. Okay, I'm just gonna show it to you. Okay.
What begins as a sweet and cheerful recording suddenly takes a dark and unsettling turn.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you my Skibidi toilet collection that I just got today. I saw my friend the other day and we went on a walk and we also got ice cream that day and I'm having a lot of fun.
About halfway through the video, something off-screen catches the girl's attention. She suddenly freezes. Her body stiffens, her expression shifting from joy to fear, as though she's seeing something terrifying. Thankfully, she leaves the room before anything worse happens. But just minutes later, the camera captures something truly chilling. A dark figure gliding past the tent in the background. It's difficult to make out exactly what it was, but the girl's older sister, who later shared the footage, believes this was the very thing her sister saw. Whether anyone ever asked the girl about that moment remains unclear, as all the context we have comes solely from the sister's narration. Without further updates, the truth behind what the toy camera recorded that night may never be fully known. On March 10th, 2025, a man began recording a vacant property engulfed in flames deep within the woods. As he filmed, something was captured that has since left countless viewers deeply unsettled. The man, who actually owns the property, had no idea that something eerie was unfolding right in front of him while he recorded. I'll let the footage speak for itself. Here's what he caught.
You should see it right now. It's amazing. Look to the window. Woo! It's getting out of hand right now. Woo! Woo! It's getting out of hand right now.
At first glance, nothing seems unusual, but if you look closely, you can see a dark figure moving inside the burning structure. Considering the property had been abandoned for years, no one should have been inside. Yet somehow, something was. Even more disturbing, the figure quickly ducks out of sight the instant the camera turns toward it, almost as if it was trying to hide. The owner, focused on the raging fire before him, didn't notice a thing at the time.
It's amazing. Look to the window.
But when viewers later analyzed the footage, they began to notice even more disturbing details. The shadowy figure wasn't the only strange occurrence in this clip.
Ooh, that's burning. I don't know what that...
Out of nowhere, a child's voice can be heard. A distinct sound of laughter, even though no children were anywhere near the remote property. Many believe this voice could be connected to the house's history, suggesting something far darker may have been tied to the place. And what's seen next only strengthens that theory.
All day.
While filming another side of the burning home, The man's camera once again captures a dark figure, this time appearing briefly before vanishing into thin air. It seems to emerge from the same part of the house where the earlier shadow was seen, making the footage even more chilling. Combined with the child's voice, it's easy to see why many viewers are convinced this house was haunted, and that the fire may have forced whatever was inside to reveal itself and flee. Whether that theory is true or not remains uncertain, but one thing's for sure. This footage is both haunting and mysterious. What do you think? Did the man capture something paranormal? Or is there a logical explanation behind it all? The next video features a young child wandering around his room after waking up from a nap. It's around 7 p.m., and according to his mother, that's highly unusual. He never wakes up at that hour, always sleeping peacefully through the night. But this time, something was different. At first, it looks like a normal moment, but what the camera captured next convinced the mother that something was very wrong. It's important to note that the boy is still at the babbling stage, meaning he can't yet describe what happened or express himself clearly. Here's what the footage shows. The family had only been living in this house for 4 months, and now this unsettling event occurred. In the recording, you can clearly hear another voice, one that absolutely doesn't belong to the child. So, the question is, who's in the room with him? The boy isn't capable of forming full words yet, only making incoherent sounds, but there's a distinct, clear voice audible in the video. According to the mother, it sounds like a young girl speaking directly to her son. Terrified, she posted the clip online, hoping someone could explain what was happening. But things became even stranger when, in another part of the recording, the child's legs appear to be pulled off the bed by an unseen force. These disturbing moments have left viewers convinced that something supernatural might be taking place inside the home.